Hello, and welcome to today's topic. I am sharing with you 5 simple ways to love your social life more without alcohol. So, why am I talking about alcohol? I have never met a human being whose life hasn't improved by drinking less alcohol. I've never really met anybody whose life improved by drinking more alcohol. And while this isn't a moral conversation about alcohol, if you want to have a drink, if you want to have your wine, your mojito, whatever, that is so okay. But I just want to share some tricks and things that I have used to feel more comfortable socially without alcohol. That's amazing. I love hearing from y'all that you haven't had alcohol. Yeah, I have been alcohol free since the first week of December, and I've been feeling super good that way. I've gone through lots of periods where I've reduced alcohol, but I'm fully committed to being alcohol free right now. And it feels so good. Okay, so why do we need to talk about this? Well, one of the things that I hear, yes, mocktails for the win. One of the things I hear a lot of women struggle with is how to cope with their social life and alcohol. So, lots of things can cause us to drink, maybe stress. But the thing I heard from you, I polled y'all, and the thing I heard from y'all that you struggle with is like how to navigate your social life. Right? Y'all are popular. Y'all are going out and doing things. You have friends and baby showers and travel and bachelorette parties. You have fun things to do. But one of the things that I've really found helps me feel the best in my body, that helps me feel really good energy-wise, that helps me get amazing sleep, that helps my skin look its best, is drinking little to no alcohol. I used to be a bigger drinker, and so one of the things that I've seen as the contrast, right? Contrast brings clarity. And so I want to share with you 5 things that you can do to improve your social experience without alcohol. So the first thing is you need to really become a woman who deals with anxiety better. What do I mean by that? If you've ever had social anxiety, raise your hand, okay? I definitely have social anxiety, especially in new situations. Or I'll get social anxiety when I'm bringing different friend groups together. So if I'm introducing my boyfriend to new friends, or my birthday party has different friend groups come together, I get social anxiety, worry, how are they going to get along? I also used to get social anxiety going on first dates. And second dates. Okay, let's be real. I also got social anxiety going to new events or networking events where I knew nobody. I was going to a lot more events this fall, just trying to get out and meet new people, being back in Austin, and I would go to events where I knew nobody, and I was also choosing not to drink, and I definitely felt social anxiety. So it's very common to grab a drink to kind of take the edge off, right? So one of the things I've developed is a little tool that's helped me navigate anxiety that I want to teach you. And it is to play out the worst case scenario. Anytime that I feel anxiety in my life, if I just trace it to the worst case scenario, it really helps me navigate that. I'll ask myself, okay, how would I handle that? So for example, okay, I'm feeling socially anxious, my birthday party, I have different friend groups coming together. What's the worst thing that could happen? Okay, one friend could say something really offensive to another friend, and they could get in a brawling fight and scream at each other and leave the party. Okay, that's probably my worst case scenario. How would I handle that? Well, I would ask my boyfriend for support. I would, talk to the other friends. We would order some cake. I just kind of brainstorm how I would handle that. Same thing with a first date. I feel anxious going on a first date. What if we have nothing to talk about? Okay, the worst case scenario, nothing to talk about. How am I going to handle that? I'm going to brainstorm 5 questions to ask him if there's awkward silences. All right. Or what if I get there, it's a blind date and I feel zero attraction to this guy and I feel awkward? How am I going to handle that? I'm going to treat him like he's a new friend that I'm just curious to get to know, right? So this has really helped me deal with anxiety. So if you notice that sometimes you reach for a drink to navigate social anxiety in new situations, try this little trick of imagining the worst case scenario and then brainstorming how you would handle it, and let me know if that helps you. The second tip that I have is learning how to kind of cope with your stress better before going into social situations. So one of the things that I've discovered in social situations with alcohol is if I feel stressed, I'm more likely to grab a drink. We have tense tired and relaxed tired, right? So as human beings, we will pretty much always feel tired by the end of the day. The question is, are you going to feel tense tired or are you going to feel relaxed tired? The goal is to feel relaxed tired by the end of your day. So one of the things that has helped me navigate social situations better is to do things to help me feel relaxed. So whether that's going for a jog first thing in the morning on the day that I was having a first date, I'm in a relationship now, but when I was going on first dates, making sure I exercise so I feel less tension going into that experience, doing a yoga flow, meditation, prayer, yoga nidra, so I'm in more of a relaxed state. Sometimes I also just like to lay on the couch, put headphones in, and listen to music for 15, 30 minutes. It's so easy to listen to music while we're doing other things, right? But it's actually super relaxing to listen to music that you love with your eyes closed, because music is all about tuning into the sensation of hearing. So if you remove like all your other senses for a period of time, you can really enjoy the music even more. And listening to your favorite music has been shown to increase your dopamine. Okay. The next tip that I have for you is really learning how to go your own way in the face of social and peer pressure. Okay. So what do I mean by that? Well, when you go into social situations and you're committed to not drinking, but other people are drinking, it can be very easy to get wrapped up into what other people are doing and kind of give up on your own goal. Whether that's a sobriety goal and you actually need to be sober for addiction recovery, or you're just committed to not drinking for your vitality or your energy and you just feel better without it, it's really important that you are a woman who's clear on her goals, a woman who's aligned with her goals, and a woman who's strong enough to deal with other people's opinions of her. So remember that you belong in a social situation, even if you're not drinking. If you're at a bar and you're the only one not drinking, you still belong there, if you want to be there. If you're at a bachelorette party and you're the only one not drinking, you still belong there. You still have purpose, you still have a role. One of the things that's helped me is to always have a mocktail in hand. So I will literally get a mocktail mojito because I just love the taste of mojitos, don't need the rum. Okay. I also love to have the bartender make me a fancy mocktail, like a custom one. I've had that done on my birthday. And then I also will sometimes just get like sparkling water and a lime. And just the act of holding something makes me feel like I belong in the group and I'm doing the rituals of connection that other people are doing. When we choose not to participate in something that other people are doing, we can feel disconnected. Of course, we're missing the ritual. So how can you bring that ritual into your experience, even if you're not drinking? And how can you be strong in your commitment to your own goals despite what other people are doing? One of the things that's helped me navigate people pleasing in life was something a mindset coach taught me a few years ago. He said to me, Heather, when you are in people pleasing, the worst thing that can happen to you is rejection by another human. Worst thing, top of the chart. When you reject people pleasing as how you want to be in life, the worst thing that can happen to you is rejecting yourself, rejecting your values, rejecting what's important to you. And that little shift really helped me navigate peer pressure. It helped me navigate social situations. It helped me navigate, okay, these people are doing this thing. I'm choosing not to do that. Well, that's because the most important thing to me is like that I choose not to reject myself, my values, my goals, my beliefs. All right. That's the third tip. The fourth tip is learning how to have more fun without alcohol. So I think a lot of people struggle to drink less socially because they see and experience it as their access into being less inhibited. They want to feel uninhibited. They want to feel fun. They want to feel silly. They want to feel playful. They want to feel goofy. And they think that they need to drink to access those states. I want to remind you that you have your inner child deep inside you. She's still in there. And she is all those things. She is naturally goofy. She is naturally playful. She is naturally silly. She is naturally fun. She is naturally funny. You don't have to try very hard to be those things. So really it's about tapping into your inner child and allowing her to come out and play. And if you do that, you're going to find it easier to have fun socially without needing alcohol. I also find that you will have better conversations overall without alcohol. Even if you're with people who are drinking, you will be the sober one, so you'll be able to actually have a more coherent conversation and guide things. And then if you're not enjoying it, you can kind of laugh and be silly and move on to the next person. Also, I've discovered that being bored at an event will lead to alcohol use. If you love the people that you're with, you won't need alcohol to have a good time with them. All right, they could be drinking, but if you love them and you have a great time with them, you won't need alcohol to have a good time. If those people aren't your people, then that's a sign that like, wow, I don't have fun with these people when I'm sober. Maybe think about getting some new friends. Okay. I discovered that throughout my 20s and early 30s, like, wow, if I have to have alcohol on board to have fun with these people, I don't think these are my people. All right. And if you're not having fun, give yourself permission to leave social events as well. And then lastly, you really need to learn how to cope specifically with social anxiety. And the tool that I use for this is what I call exposure therapy. So remember when I talked about first dates used to cause me a lot of anxiety and social anxiety? Well, one of the things that I found helped was to just keep going on more first dates. Because that first date caused me so much anxiety, especially if I was meeting somebody like off an app that I didn't know, that I would just feel, wow, I feel super anxious going into this situation. And so what I learned was if you do something over and over and over again, this exposure therapy, it lessens the impact and the intensity of that event in your life. And you don't feel that same fear. You don't feel that same panic. So look, it's going to be uncomfortable to go to events or go on dates or go to parties that you're used to having alcohol with. But if you're committed to reducing your alcohol intake, then it's going to be much easier if you continue to expose yourself over and over again to the event, all right? That exposure therapy. Once you get used to it without alcohol, it will seem much easier. So let's review the different topics and the different tools that we have to use those. Okay, so the first one is anxiety. So if you're experiencing anxiety, the tool to use is worst case scenario. Imagine what the worst case scenario would be for you in that particular event, and then ask yourself how you would handle it and brainstorm some solutions and kind of walk yourself through that. Remember, anxiety protects you. Anxiety's purpose is to protect you from threats. But if you don't actually think about the potential threat and brainstorm solutions, the anxiety is really unhelpful. Then it just creates distress in your body and your mind. So you need to take anxiety and harness it, and then you need to turn it into the tool that you want for yourself. The second thing is learning how to navigate stress. So if you are navigating stress, you need to have a better wind down routine. You need to learn how to go from tense tired to relaxed tired. And that really comes from having good habits around, your sleep, your exercise, things like that. And then the third thing is you need to really feel confident going your own way socially. And the tool that we use to access that is being clear and aligned and strong in your goals and your values and beliefs and being clear on those. The fourth thing is to remember how to have more fun and accessing your inner child and really letting her out to play will help you have more fun without alcohol. And the last thing is navigating social anxiety, right? And the tool that I invite you to use is exposure therapy. So if it makes you anxious to go to a particular event, first date, a networking event without alcohol, you have to do it multiple times, okay? And as you do it more and more and more, you'll feel less and less social anxiety and more confidence. Okay. And some of the things that are really available to you when you start practicing these tools are greater joy and happiness. One, you won't be drinking as much alcohol. Remember, alcohol is a central nervous system depressant. So if you are someone who's more prone to anxiety or depression and those symptoms, then drinking less can really enhance your mental health, your joy. It will also improve your peace of mind. It will also improve your sleep, which is so important for mental health and feeling good in our bodies and minds. You'll have more money in your pocket when you drink less, always a win. And you'll have greater self-trust as well. When you learn to navigate different situations without alcohol, you'll have greater self-trust. And you'll feel better in your body. You'll have greater vitality. The less alcohol you drink, the better you'll feel. And your self-esteem and your pride in self will also increase. I hope you enjoyed today's topic and at least one of these tools helped you and something that you'll try and apply to your life. If you're watching or listening to the replay of this, then feel free to send me a message on Instagram. Let me know what was helpful for you. You can comment if you're watching a video version of this. And I look forward to talking to y'all soon.